Hi again, friends. Here on LibertyFlames.com, we're catching up with Liberty women's basketball coach Carey Green as the Lady Flames get ready for a two-game road trip this weekend. Big South Conference play, coming off a 1-1 split at home in conference play over the weekend. And, Coach, we'll go back to the weekend first before we talk about the Coastal Charleston Southern trip. You took a tough loss to High Point on Saturday night. A game that probably felt like you kind of had wrapped up there at the end, went to overtime on a crazy shot, and that one just slipped away. But then Monday, bounced back with a very impressive lopsided win over Campbell. If you could just kind of start with your thoughts on the weekend and how the ladies bounced back.
Well, as you alluded to earlier, the High Point game, for the most part, we were in control of that game, and from a statistic perspective, we dominated the game, not in a overwhelming way, but in rebounds and baskets made, and as you alluded to, it came down to we had like a 5-point lead with a minute and something to go, and as we closed out the game, they had one of the players hit a bank three-pointer straight in to put us in overtime. We actually tied the score. We had an opportunity to win the game at the end, and just didn't make our shot. And in conclusion, the game was really determined on the free throw line. They actually shot several more free throws than we did. So in summary, I felt like maybe we did enough to win, but didn't close it out very well. And they hit some key shots, made some free throws at the end of the game, and they won. And it was a disappointing loss. As we move forward into the game against Campbell, I was really concerned because I didn't know how much the loss to High Point would affect us from a mental perspective and even a physical intensity level. And I challenged the team, and the team really responded well after really a slow start, first 5 or 6 minutes, and then they came out with a lot of intensity. And everyone, the bench was involved, and they were very effective. And everyone got involved from an offensive perspective, and everybody scoring. And it was a fun game on Monday.
Absolutely. Those are always the fun ones when you can come out of there with a pretty lopsided-looking win. That was a game, too, where coming in, I think your team and Campbell were the two top, from a defensive standpoint, against the three-pointer. You guys were the top defensive teams in the league, but early on kind of was a little bit of a shootout between Gloxton and Devin Brown and some others getting involved there. How do you adjust in a game like that where you're expecting one thing and then you get something else?
Yeah, that was a surprise, to tell you the truth. We had made some defensive mistakes and wasn't executing very well defensively, and they were capitalizing on it and scoring points. The only way we were going to stay in the game is if we got very effective on the offensive end. And I felt like our power game inside helped us a lot. Avery and Tolu was very active on the boards as well as our subs inside. And Devin was who Devin typically is. She's a scorer, and she kept us in the game. And once we got settled down and got our defensive assignments corrected, we had a run at the end of the first half, which gave us a little more cushion there to relax a little bit, which we continued on with in the second half. And, we shot the ball well. A lot of people was involved, and a lot of our offenses, our execution was what it should have been all year long. And we also took care of the ball. So if you take care of the ball and don't turn it over, then you're going to have opportunities to score.
Absolutely, and I want to go back to last Saturday as well. One bright spot that did come out of that game was Avery Worley surpassing Katie Feenstra-Matera for the all-time rebounding record here at Liberty. That's a pretty awesome accomplishment for her, obviously. A lot of folks feel Katie might be the best player to ever come through this program, but if you could just speak to that accomplishment for her a little bit and what that means.
Well, Avery has accepted a role, and she is a very talented young lady when it comes down to rebounding, both defensively and offensively. She's got a great nose for the ball, moves and rebounds out of her area, and is very physical. So she has all the tools to be successful, and she's worked very hard to overcome or even reach the milestone that Katie had set. And both of them are equal in rebounds. I love to have both of them at the same time. I mean, that would have been great. Avery playing the power forward and Katie playing the center. So I don't think anybody would get any rebounds. Those two would just be volleying it back and forth on missed shots because nobody else is going to get any rebounds. But she has worked very hard. We're very proud of that accomplishment, and she has been a great attribute to our program.
I think a lot of coaches in the Big South just got headaches thinking about the thought of those two playing the post together. Let's look ahead to this weekend, though. You take the ladies on the road, and it's always kind of, I guess, a fun trip going down. It's the quote-unquote beach swing to Charleston Southern in Coastal Carolina, but obviously still a business trip, and you've got two teams that are very capable. Charleston Southern with a win over Clemson already this year. They can shoot it out of the gym. Coastal Carolina, always tough, a little bit of a rivalry there. What are you looking for from the team this weekend?
Well, last year the business trip didn't turn out as good as we wanted it to. Last year we ended up splitting on that road, and we feel like we're going to have the same challenges we've always had. Coastal Carolina, well coached, and they started very good this year. I think they were like 6-2 when they got into conference play, and started off 2-0 in conference play. So they're very, very comfortable at home. I'm not sure what their record is at home. They maybe even undefeated at home. And so they're going to take care of their house very well, and Coach LaForest does a great job. I really respect him and his staff and what they do. So we know that's going to be a battle at the very beginning, and they're unique in that they're pretty good with their defense, especially their man-to-man defense, and very physical. So I don't expect anything other than a battle there. Then when we go to Charleston Southern on a Monday, they've had some quality wins. They begin the season like 5-0 or 6-0, and had before conference play, I think they were about 6-2. And they had a quality win at Clemson, beat Clemson at Clemson. So what are you expecting, coming into that game? We expect a transition game and them shooting a lot of threes, and that's been their style. And when they hit those threes, it makes it difficult to beat them on their home floor. We found that out last year. That one of their losses in that road trip last year was at their place, and they've got some quality players there, and Julie does a great job. And so it's contrasting teams, and we've got to be prepared for both of them. And the next few days we'll do as much as we can for preparation in those competitions.
All right, very good. Well, Coach, certainly wish you the best of luck and safe travels here coming up on the road this weekend.
Thank you, Nick.
All right, that's Liberty Lady Flames basketball coach Carey Green. And for more on this weekend's matchups on Saturday and Monday, you can check out libertyflames.com. For libertyflames.com, I'm Nick Pierce.